Welcome to an overview of Manager Estimating. You'll see on this screen the main details in a job book, and the job book screen captures all the details of clients and contacts where you can put your job address as well, and all the relevant information to do with the job, the quote status, any delivery dates that you've got for a job, the statuses of the job further down with their dates, and also the staff who entered or the sales staff is. So we'll start a new quote by clicking on the new quote button. We can search for an existing client, or we can add a new one on the fly. So the main thing to put in is a job address and any items that are required by your business. The quote status is important, as you'll see later. So we move to the estimate section, and we can have a category or a section. A section is required to add items to the estimate. So we're now adding a section to that category. Give it a name, go OK. Once we highlight the section, we can then start adding items to it. We'll select this category and select different items to go in, and all we do is we put in a quantity and go OK. It is possible to change the name as you insert things. The setting up of modules can be shown to you later. You can highlight a module that you've imported, and you can see all the details of what the bill of materials for each of those items is. We'll now add another category, and we'll do different products for this one. So instead of using the range module, we're going to use standard modules. We can just keep adding sections for whatever is required for this particular quotation. We can also, if the module has been set up with a parts list, we can also add to that parts list or delete from that parts list or modify it as required. This does not affect the standard module, only this estimate. We can also just change quantities if we wish to, instead of using a quantity calculator. And you'll see, as we build up the estimate, the price is built up as we go. We can also copy a category or a section and place it somewhere else, and then go in and modify it as we require. In this case, we've copied the one from section 1, but we don't need all the items. We only need a couple of those items out of there. Each section can build up its own costs, so you can have a look at the cost of each section, apart from many other things you can do. We want different materials in this section, so we're just going to change one material for another one in our library of materials. Highlight which one you want, click replace, and that's changed straight away. Now we're going to show you a section that we've created without using modules. We're just going to use some materials, put in the number of square meters that we require. In this case, we can also use a quantity calculator on the fly. And we can also add labour in that we need to go with that because we're not using a bill of materials. Because we've used square meters, if we need to make it relevant to a sheet size that we can buy in, we can adjust the quantities so that it matches up to the sheet sizes and apply by ticking, or just apply all, and it will update those quantities. As you can see, it's gone to sheet quantities. Now we're going to add a quote from a subcontractor or a supplier. We can do a search for existing ones, put in some details of the task, and any supplier reference that we need associated with that. And we can also have categories of subcontract work. Now we're going to show you how we can use variables in our items, and that just brings up a bill of materials for a basic unit, and we can see the variables that have already been preset. We can change them if we like, and then we just drag it in and it will automatically ask for what details and size, what sizes we wanted to have for this particular item that we're making. We can change the name. With a variable one we can preset sizes, and as you will see, the name of the unit also includes the height and the width. We go back to the job book once we've finished the estimate, and we can update the status of it. We can go to the costing tab and set the primary to estimate, and it fills in the quote value. The trades, subcontract trades, are all listed here. We can add file notes to any of these, even if it's just a file note for reference at a later stage. We can just mark it as complete, or we can have it as a follow-up for someone else to follow up, or ourselves to follow up with a pop-up on our screen. We can go into the quote tracker and we can see all the quotes that are there. Any of the white cells can be changed and updated in the files. We can look at the job files, client contacts, all the contacts, or email the client. We can even search for individual salespeople. If we double click on one of the quotes, we can then go straight back to the job book and it will put that quote in there. Thank you for watching.